herzlich willkommen wieder zurück bei Folis Gamehouse zu einer neuen Folge Let's Play The Infamous Madness of Dr. Dekker. Part 2. Tag 2, die Befragungsrunde geht auf jeden Fall weiter. Werden wir sehen, dass wir den einzelnen jeweiligen Patienten noch ein bisschen näher kennenlernen und vielleicht schon die ersten Urteile darüber bilden können, wer was wohl eventuell gefährlich sein könnte oder wer vielleicht eventuell gerade der Mörder sein könnte. Ja, ich bedanke mich schon mal fürs Zuschauen vorab, fürs Liken, fürs Kommentieren, vielleicht sogar fürs Abonnieren. Wenn ihr nichts mehr verpassen wollt, dann einfach die Glocke oben reinhauen, somit, dass ihr nichts mehr verpasst beim nächsten Let's Play von mir. Ja. Und wir spielen weiter Psychodoktor und ich hoffe, ihr seid da wohlgesonnen mit dabei. So. Ja.
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either. I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either.
Okay.
Yes, Ben found Dr. Dekker's body on Valentine's night in his office. In your office. Yes, you know, the 14th of February, the day of love. Or remembering a massacre, whichever's more you. Sorry, didn't you know? Ben's one of the night shift cleaners. I'm sure he's got some tales he could tell.
Der Nightcliff-Gene, okay. So wissen wir auch natürlich, wer Ben ist.
The police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, you know, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect. I think the police want you to make a short list of suspects, or maybe even find the killer. You're seeing all the patients that were on the books when he was killed. There was no forced entry, so they think it might be someone he knew, or someone who had access to the office. Like little old me. Do you think I'm a suspect, Doctor?
Nein, das denkt man natürlich nicht. Dr. Dekker was killed on Valentine. I should ask the patient where that day. Ah, okay. Dann mal vielen Dank für die Info.
And you barely know me. I'm flattered. They did mention I needed grief counselling though, and I said you'd sort me out. I know you haven't agreed, but just so you know, it's very kind of you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Na. So schnell nicht.
I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we did spend a lot of time together. There's only two of us that work here. I'm sure we'll become friends too, Doctor. Just try not to get murdered.
Das kann ja jeder sagen.
He was stabbed, so that's quite a personal thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the patients who had a problem with the treatment they were getting.
Ich weiß. Did you declare any?
I wasn't really in his social circle, so I don't know if he had any friends. In terms of enemies, I heard things get heated in his office sometimes, but I won't name any names.
Was? Sie kennen keine Namen? Wow, das war aber zu prompt die Antwort.
Susan, Annabelle, Melissa, there are some names, but they're not names of anyone I know. I'm just surmising. If you're unhappy enough to kill your therapist, they're probably not doing a very good job. I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind. We'll be getting the autopsy through at some point. I'll let you know when. I didn't see it myself, so I don't know. But I heard it was a bit of a mess with all the blood and everything. They have people who clean up after such things, though, so you really can't tell, can you? But don't worry. That's a new chair. All I know is the police took his chair. Forensics, I suppose.
So. So gehen wir schon mit in Tag 2 rein.
I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day? You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? You didn't know that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah? No, we played that game together, but we didn't meet in it. Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met at secondary. Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a question right? I suppose it's funny for you. You won't remember. Anyway, I think I'll probably head home. This isn't helping.
Whoops.
I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? I suppose you did remember that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
Na klar kann man uns an Hannah erinnern.
Yeah, at secondary school. It's been fun, but I've got a pill. Dr. Dekker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day. It's got a small skull and crossbones on it. Should I take the tablet, Doctor? You're cool. I don't think this is getting us anywhere, though. I'll see you tomorrow. Again.
Ich glaube, das das war besser. Na klar sind wir uns sicher.
I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day. You won't remember it. What's the name of your assistant again? Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Yeah, great. Is there anything you can say that's going to break this loop for me? I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days? Something somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory. It's a thing. Some professor believes we could be living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc. I'm starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor. Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death when I'm dancing.
You get this day over and over.
Hilda,
I black out.
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Act 2. Valentine's Day.
Ooh. Deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away. Well, come find me if you need anything.
Jasmin ist neu. Lacey ist auch neu.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes. Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk.
Tschö.
I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
Was mögen wir denn eigentlich? Winter? Like Summer? Like Autumn? Also was mögt ihr so besonders? Winter, Sommer, Herbst, Frühling? Was ist denn euer Winter? Also mein Favorite ist ja Winter eigentlich. Ich mag Winter sehr sogar.
If you like winter, you're supposed to be hard-working and analytical. I suppose that increases my chances of you curing my problem. I don't think winter was Hannah's favourite season. Not colourful enough.
Ja, die meisten Frauen mögen den Winter nicht. Gibt's wenige.
I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. But it does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day. We walk alone without our angel. I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else? I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone. Thanks, Doctor. I appreciate that. I still don't think I'm ready to move forward in that respect. Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me, if that's even a thing. Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor? I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best? Photographs it is then. I'll let you know how it goes.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. But that's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next, which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. But where's your glass, Doctor? Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip.
Das war ein bisschen
Why
viel
I'm here,
Information.
isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next, which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. Where's your glass, Doctor?
Zu den Nathan hatten wir jetzt ja schon dran gehabt. Ich glaube nicht, dass der noch was Neues dazu uns berichten kann. Doch.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts, new doctor, and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be. Shh.
Na, aber sowas von. Psst.
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Dekker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink. I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile. Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. It makes me feel dull by comparison. I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now? I guess it was a couple of days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just didn't seem right. I wanted to find out what was wrong. I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair and then I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients, actually. The nurse? She was on the pier with someone. Pretty much all of the night, too, so I can vouch for her, even though she probably didn't see me. I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them.
Okay.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. Kind of missed it. You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts. People are quick to put labels on everything. I suppose Dr. Dekker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other. I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor? Well, you have my number, Doctor, and my address. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together, if you want to. Some girls say that they're washing their hair when they don't want to go out, but I was genuinely washing my hair. Do you think my hair is pretty, Doctor?
Die spielt gerne Wissen, kann das sein?
I'm insecure, Doctor. Isn't it obvious? It's such a mess. But thank you.
Aber gern geschehen.
I've danced around in my living room, but no clubs since last time. I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus Hilda's getting worse.
Also ganz ehrlich, es sind viele Patienten auf einmal. Aber langsam habe ich so ein bisschen Durchblick.
Well, it started with this.
Aber nur langsam.
It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died.
Habt ihr schon irgendwie einen Durchblick, wer es sein könnte? Wer am durchgeknalltesten von denen ist? Wenn ja, schreibt mal was in die Community rein oder schreibt mal in die Kommentare rein. Würde mich mal interessieren. What else have you put in the review?
Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to. I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really. Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket? Thank you, Doctor. That makes me feel much better. I shouldn't let what Terry says bother me so much. It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know? Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier. Held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab and I went home, alone. I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to, if you think I need an alibi. Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late. Help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. But that's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next, which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. But where's your glass, Doctor?
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died. I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor? Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor. David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have died too. David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing. The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him. Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice. I don't mean I'm going to hunt her down. Just, if I see her, I'll talk to her again. I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water. It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan anyway. I had to toughen up quickly. Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces. I don't mean I'm going to hunt her down. Just, if I see her, I'll talk to her again. I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child. I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine. Love? Yes. I suppose I always will. Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do. He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes. I'll watch him and make sure nothing bad happens.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour. When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture. Yes, I would steal too, and I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things. Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything. That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that. Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me. Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
Aber sowas von wrong.
I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault. Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed. He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it. I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is? No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
Nein, natürlich nicht. Hallo, ist keine Zeit oder was?
I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway. They had a display with the theme Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done. That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me. Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you. Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway.
Also er wirkt zwar ein bisschen verrückt. Ein bisschen durch den Wind, aber jemanden umzubringen?
That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there.
So, da haben wir Jasmin, die ist neu.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker? When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting, they watch me, normally disapprovingly. Oh, when? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you? Ouch. I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now. We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce. I'd never really spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic. I couldn't get rid of him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours. When I want them to normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop. I've been working on portraits, at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray. There's not much to tell. I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here. Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art because I'm too young. Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art because I'm too young. Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me. I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me. That I'm ugly, that I have no talent, nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor? I hear it so many times from that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you. He was shy, and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. He was shy, and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though. My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her. Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra. No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance. I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them.
Okay.
The temazepam? The sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time.
Aha, okay. Noch eine Tablettenabhängige.
Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this?
Die haben ja alle ein bisschen Schatten weg.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
Sollen wir Tabletten geben? Nee, das steht gar nicht mehr zur Debatte. Da haben wir noch jemand Neues in der Runde. Lacey.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then? Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch.
Mhm. Und warum bist du hier?
It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes... Poor Agnes. She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth.
Okay. So. Liebe Watching, okay, da haben wir schon mal die wichtigsten Fakten zusammen zu ihr. Gut, schnell Notizen gemacht gehabt. Ja, wir fragen dich schon weiter. Und
It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing. I was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life? Garden Club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people. I don't know, I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes. I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
Puh, das ist eine gute Frage, ob wir die gefunden haben.
They haven't found her because that thing ate her. Or made her disappear or something. Her useless husband managed to survive unscathed, though.
Okay, jetzt haben wir noch eine neue Patientin mit Wahnvorstellungen. Zumindest scheint das so.
Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... That sounds like something I should know about. But I don't.
Das war's schon. Halt.
I'm not really sure about that.
Wie, du bist dir nicht sicher, ob du einen hast? Dann vielleicht, ja. Kein Boyfriend, sondern ein Girlfriend?
No. He's a Weasley little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless... Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor? I'll get someone else to do it. I suppose I shouldn't really expect any help from you. Dr. Dekker used to call me the leech lady. He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck 'em right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway? Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Nathan's number? Why? Da musst du den Nathan nochmal fragen.
I think we should get a solicitor. I know the perfect firm. I'll do it all, don't worry about it. And that's why we've got insurance for these kinds of things anyway. But the cheek of it. Hey you, thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think. Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like. I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him. Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here. Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that? We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. I find those referral letters. He was sure there was a pattern in them. So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you.
Cooper, nice girl. Yes, it is a nice girl.
She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25. It smashed.
Das war's?
Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them.
Please accept this letter on notice of my intentions to rise for my patient. Dr. Dekker. 11th February.
It smashed. Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. I find those referral letters. He was sure there was a pattern in them. So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him?
So sind wir wieder angelangt beim Nathan. Und ich würde mal sagen, ich bedanke mich fürs Zuschauen. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder hier bei Fodis Gamehaus zu einem nächsten Let's Play, The Infamous Madness of Dr. Dekker. Oder einem anderen Let's Play. Ihr findet uns natürlich auf Twitch, Instagram, Facebook und hier auf YouTube unter Fodis Gamehaus. Ich mal sagen, ich bin raus, hab für heute erstmal genug gehört. Werde die einzelnen Personen auf jeden Fall nochmal ein bisschen durchfragen, weil es war teilweise doch schon wirrig, was unsere Patienten oder meine Patienten jetzt so von sich gegeben haben. Jeder hat einen anderen Spleen. Aber es macht auf jeden Fall mega Spaß, mir gefällt's. Ist nicht schlecht gemacht, vor allen Dingen, dass man auch Fragen selber stellen kann. Und zwar an der Dreiecktaste, da kann man hier selber seinen Text ändern. Ich hoffe, ihr kennt den auch sehen, ich bin mir gar nicht so ganz sicher. Aber ich glaube schon. Da können wir, genau, da seht ihr das Test, die Eingaben, die wir machen können, und oben steht Enter your questions. Da kann man dann die Questions selber eingeben. Werde ich beim nächsten Mal auf jeden Fall versuchen, auch mal die richtigen Fragen noch mehr zu stellen, wenn sie nicht schon vorgegeben sind. Ja, und dann würde ich mal sagen, sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Es hat mich auf jeden Fall gefreut, dass ihr mal reingeschaltet habt. Vielleicht lasst ein Like da, ein Abo da. Würde mich riesig freuen. Ansonsten, ich bin raus. Macht's gut, haut rein, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.